There are 5 distinct levels of cold wallet security, and the higher you go, the more secure your setup gets. Or does it? More advanced doesn't automatically mean more secure, because for every problem you solve, you introduce a new one that could lead to you losing your crypto. So today I'm breaking down these 5 levels of cold wallet security so you know exactly where you stand, how each level works, what problem it solves, but also what new problem it introduces. My promise to you is by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what level is right for you, because for most people, the safest level probably isn't level 5.
Level 1 Single Sig.
Even though this is the lowest level on the list, this is probably what most people are using right now, and for most people it makes a lot of sense. Single sig simply means one key controls your crypto. If you set up your hardware wallet with a 12 or a 24 word seed phrase and have done nothing else, you're using a single sig wallet. This is the most simple way to secure your crypto. Your seed phrase is the key to your crypto, so if your hardware wallet breaks, get lost, or if the company goes out of business, you can still access your crypto using another hardware wallet or a crypto wallet app by entering your seed phrase. You only need one hardware wallet and one seed phrase, that's it. And that simplicity is the biggest reason I like this setup. And here's something else I want to make clear. A standard 12 or 24 word seed phrase is already virtually impossible to hack, assuming you created it the right way, because there are so many possible combinations that someone or something like a supercomputer simply guessing your seed phrase is just not a realistic concern. So if you're at level 1 wondering, should I be doing more to secure my crypto? The simple answer is probably not. The seed phrase itself is already really strong. If it's been working for you up to this point, there's no need to rush and change things. That said, the biggest challenge at level 1 is keeping your seed phrase safe, because with level 1, that one seed phrase is also your biggest weakness. If someone finds it, they can use it to access your crypto. They don't need your hardware wallet, they don't need your wallet's PIN, they just need the seed phrase. And the opposite is also true. If you lose your hardware wallet and you also lose your seed phrase, there's nobody you can call. There's no password reset button. If you lose it, you lose access to your crypto forever. So who is level 1 for? Honestly, anyone who prefers the most simple setup that will secure their crypto. If you use a good hardware wallet that lets you create a good seed phrase and you keep that seed phrase completely offline and store it somewhere safe, this level provides proven security. And you really only need 2 things to achieve level 1, a reputable hardware wallet and a safe place to store your seed phrase, because at level 1, your seed phrase is the most important thing. And most people just write down their seed phrase on a sheet of paper. I don't personally like to do this for long-term storage because paper can burn and it can tear if it gets wet. So at this level, the one thing you can do to increase your security is to store your seed phrase on a piece of metal. And this is just a metal seed phrase plate or a capsule, and that's it. Super simple, but it works. But if you want a simple way to add an additional layer of security to your cold wallet and eliminate the single point of failure that comes from using one seed phrase, that's where level 2 comes in.
Level 2 Passphrase.
This is a level where everything from here on becomes extra. You don't need to go past level 1 to secure your crypto. If you decide to add more steps without fully understanding them, you can actually increase your chance of losing your crypto. That said, a passphrase is one of the easiest ways to add an additional layer of security to your seed phrase without adding too much complexity. A passphrase is simply an extra word or phrase you add to your seed phrase to create a completely separate wallet. A passphrase isn't just a password that locks your normal seed phrase wallet. It actually creates a different wallet by combining your seed phrase with the passphrase you create. So instead of only needing your seed phrase to access a wallet, now you need both your seed phrase plus your passphrase. You need both. This is also why people call it a hidden wallet, because if someone finds your seed phrase, they can open your normal seed phrase wallet, but they wouldn't even know that your passphrase wallet exists if they don't know that you have a passphrase, so they can't access it. But here's the catch. Now you have 2 things that you can't afford to lose, your seed phrase and your passphrase. If you lose either one and later need to recover that passphrase wallet, you won't be able to get back into it. And there's also no wrong passphrase warning. Every passphrase you enter opens a new valid wallet. That means you can create as many passphrase wallets as you want from one seed phrase. But if you enter the wrong passphrase, it'll simply display a new wallet with a 0 balance. For example, let's say your passphrase is password123, but 5 years from now you type in password123 with a lowercase p. You won't get an error message saying invalid passphrase. It'll just open a newly created passphrase wallet, and that wallet will simply show a 0 balance. If you don't remember the exact passphrase you used before, you will never be able to access the wallet holding your crypto again. So who is level 2 for? Well, really anyone who's worried about someone finding your physical backup, or that your wallet doesn't generate a secure enough seed phrase, Or maybe you just want to split your crypto across multiple wallets without having to buy multiple hardware wallets. A passphrase is a super simple way to achieve all of that stuff without adding too much complexity. But I would not use one just because someone online told you it's the most secure thing to do. And if you already have a hard time keeping track of one seed phrase, a passphrase probably isn't for you because you'll have to keep track of your seed phrase plus any passphrases you choose to create. And to make things just a little more complicated, you shouldn't store your passphrase and your seed phrase together, because if someone finds both in the same place, you lose most of the extra protection that a passphrase is designed to give you. But setting up and using a passphrase is really easy. To set one up, you just need a hardware wallet that supports the passphrase feature, and most hardware wallets do. First, you just create your normal wallet with the seed phrase, then you turn on the passphrase feature and enter the passphrase you want to use, and that creates your new passphrase wallet. From there, you can send crypto between your normal wallet and your passphrase wallet, just like you would send crypto to any other wallet, really. One of my favorite wallets for setting up and managing passphrases easily is Trezor. I have a full guide that shows you exactly how to create a passphrase, switch between your normal wallet and your passphrase wallet, and send crypto between them. I'll link that video down in the description for you if you decide the passphrase feature is something that you want to use. So level 2 makes your seed phrase useless by itself, but you still have single points of failure, which are either your seed phrase or the passphrase. Level 3 fixes that, and almost nobody talks about this feature.
Level 3 Shamir Backup.
If I had to guess why this feature isn't talked about more, it's probably because this is where the extra complexity starts to outweigh the added security. So this level definitely isn't for everyone, but many hardware wallets already have this feature built in, so it's worth knowing how it works in case you ever want to use it. Shamir Backup splits your wallet seed phrase into multiple pieces called shares. You choose how many shares you want to create and how many of those shares are needed to recover your wallet. For example, you can create 5 total shares and require any 3 of them to recover your wallet. This fixes one of the biggest problems with the earlier levels. If someone finds just 1 share, it won't be enough to access your crypto. Or if you lose 1 share, you can still access your crypto by using the other shares. You can also keep each share in different places. So instead of having one complete backup sitting in one location, your backups can be spread across several locations. But as you can probably guess, this also adds more work for you. Now you have more backup pieces to keep track of, and if you ever need to recover your wallet, you will need to enter multiple shares instead of just one seed phrase. So you gain more protection if one backup is stolen, lost, or destroyed, but you also give yourself more things to manage. So who is level 3 for? Really anyone who doesn't want a single seed phrase to be the thing everything depends on. Maybe you want your backup spread across different places. Maybe you want to be able to lose 1 or 2 pieces and still recover your wallet. Or maybe you don't want one person finding your seed phrase and gaining access to everything. If that sounds like you, Shamir can make sense. And to set up Shamir Backup, you need a hardware wallet that supports it. From there, you choose how many shares you want to create and how many of those shares will be needed to recover your wallet. But even after splitting up your backup, there's still one thing you're trusting your hardware wallet to do, which is create your seed phrase. Level 4 lets you take control of that process too.
Level 4 Dice Rolls.
Up until this level, the hardware wallet has created the randomness used to make your seed phrase. That randomness matters because it's what makes your seed phrase virtually impossible to guess. And until the recent Coldcard hack, most people weren't talking about dice rolls nearly as much as they are now. That hack happened because some Coldcard wallets created weak seed phrases. So instead of those seed phrases being truly random, an attacker recreated some of them and used them to access users' crypto and then steal their crypto. Dice rolls are one way to avoid relying on only the hardware wallet to create that randomness. The idea is simple. You take a physical die or mini, roll them over and over, and enter each result into the hardware wallet. The wallet then uses those rolls to create your seed phrase. So instead of saying, I trust the wallet to create all the randomness, you're adding that randomness yourself. But the downside is that now you have to trust yourself to do this process correctly. You need to roll the dice enough times, you need to enter every roll correctly, and you need a hardware wallet that supports this feature. You also need to use fair dice and follow the wallet's instructions exactly. And it's important to remember what happened with Coldcard isn't normal. The problem came from an error in the wallet's firmware. Good hardware wallets are designed to create strong, random seed phrases on their own. For example, Ledger uses a true random number generator inside the secure chip, while Trezor wallets use multiple sources of randomness when creating a seed phrase. So who is level 4 for? Someone who doesn't want to fully trust their hardware wallet to create the randomness, that's used to create their seed phrase. If that's not something you're worried about, you probably don't need to do this. But if you did want to do this, to set it up, you would just need a hardware wallet that supports dice rolls during the wallet creation. Then you simply follow the wallet's instructions, roll the dice the required number of times, and enter every result exactly as shown. But even after all those levels, there's still one problem that exists, and that problem is that one key is in charge of moving all of your crypto, and level 5 is the first level that addresses this single point of failure.
Level 5, multi-sig.
This works very differently from everything we've covered so far. With the passphrase, Shamir backup, and dice rolls, only one key or one confirmation is required to approve a transaction. Multi-sig changes that. Multi-sig means more than one key has to approve a transaction before your crypto will move. A common setup is a 2 or 3 multi-sig. That means you have 3 separate keys, usually on 3 separate devices, but you only need any 2 of them to move the crypto. So if you wanted to move $1,000 worth of Bitcoin, you would approve that same transaction using at least 2 of the 3 keys that are required. That's the big benefit. If someone steals one of your keys or finds one of your seed phrases, they still can't move your crypto. And if you lose one key, you still have the other 2. You can also keep each key in a different place, so one theft, fire, or device problem doesn't affect everything. But here's the downside. You have to manage way more stuff. More hardware wallets, more seed phrases, and more information you need to save in case you ever need to rebuild a multi-sig wallet. With a normal wallet, one seed phrase is enough to recover everything. With multi-sig, one seed phrase only recovers one key. You still need enough of the other keys, plus the information that tells the software how the multi-sig wallet is set up. So who is level 5 for? Really for someone who doesn't want to have one key control everything. For example, if you own a business where one person being able to move all the crypto would be a huge risk, multi-sig would make a lot of sense, and that's why a lot of crypto exchanges use multi-sig. To set up multi-sig though, you generally need multiple hardware wallets and or third-party software that supports multi-sig. For Bitcoin, the simplest example of multi-sig is Casa. Casa can set you up with a 2 or 3 multi-sig wallet where 3 keys protect your Bitcoin, but only 2 are needed to move it. Their standard setup uses 1 key on your phone, 1 key on your hardware wallet, and then Casa also holds 1 key on their platform. That said, for most people, I think level 1 is secure enough. That's how I've secured a lot of my own crypto for the past 7 years. But if you want a little more protection without adding too much complexity, I think level 2 is a good balance. The passphrase makes your seed phrase useless on its own, while still keeping the setup pretty simple. So if you want to stick with level 1 and just use a standard seed phrase, check out my Tangem wallet user guide. Tangem is one of the easiest hardware wallets to set up and use. Or if you want level 2 and the added protection of a passphrase, check out my Trezor wallet comparison. All of Trezor's wallets make passphrases really easy to set up and manage. I'll meet you over in one of those videos. God bless and peace out.